This is CRAVE by Sarah Kane. This was for Mark. CRAVE was premiered by Payne's Plough at the Travers Theatre, Edinburgh on the 13th of August 1998. The cast was as follows: C, M, B, and A. There was a director, designer, and there was lighting. Wow. And okay, author's note: punctuation is used to indicate delivery, not to confirm rules of grammar. The stroke marks the point of interruption or overlapping in dialogue. I'm not reading the editor's note. Okay, in this edition of Crave, first reprinted in 2000, incorporates minor revisions made to the original text by Sarah Kane shortly before her death. It should therefore be regarded as definitive versions in all respect. Okay, go ahead, guys. Aishwarya.
Are you guys friends?
We cannot see the. Yeah.
Oh, it stopped presenting. Oops, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
सब एक साथ बोलो. Yeah.
मैं अपना शुरू हो गया मैं. Just a second. Is it visible now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So I just read the editor's note and you guys can begin now. See, Aishwarya.
You're dead to me.
My will reads, fuck this up and I'll haunt you for the rest of your fucking life.
He's following me.
What do you want? Should I?
Somewhere outside the city, I told my mother, you're dead to me.
No, that's not it.
If I could be free of you without having to lose you.
Sometimes that's not possible.
I keep telling people I'm pregnant. They say, how did you do it? What are you talking? I say, I drank a bottle of port, smoked some fags, and fucked a stranger.
All lies.
He still have a secret, but he can't help telling. He thinks we don't know. Believe me, we know.
A voice in the desert.
He who comes up.
There's something in the way.
Still here.
3 summers ago, I bereaved. No one died, but I lost my mother.
She had him back.
I believe in anniversaries, that a mood can be repeated even if the event that caused it is trivial or forgotten. In this case, it's neither.
I'll grow older and I will. It will. Something.
I smoke till I'm sick.
Black and white and you.
When I wake, I think my period must have started or rather never stopped because it only finished 3 days ago.
The heat is going out of me.
The heart is going out of me.
I feel nothing. Nothing.
Is it possible?
Sorry?
I'm not a rapist.
David,
Yeah?
I'm a pedophile.
do you remember me?
Yeah.
Looks like a German,
Talks like a Spaniard.
walks like a Serb.
You've forgotten.
All things to all.
I don't think.
Yes.
I couldn't forget.
I look for you all over the city.
I really don't.
Yes. Yes.
You do.
Yes.
Please stop this.
And now I have found you.
Someone has died who's not dead.
And now we're friends.
It's not my fault. It was never my fault.
Everything that happens is supposed to happen.
Where you been?
Here and there.
Leave.
Where?
Now.
There.
Because love by its nature desires a future.
I want a child.
None of this would have happened.
Time is passing and I don't have time.
No.
None.
We will lay by on a motorway, going out of the city, or maybe in, depending on. A small dark girl sits in the passenger seat of a parked car. Her elderly grandfather undoes his trousers and pops out of his pants, big and purple.
Nothing. Nothing. I feel nothing.
And when she cries, father in the back seat says, I'm sorry. She's not normally like this.
Haven't we been here before?
And though she cannot remember,
And has been hurtling away from the moment ever since.
Will you come round and seduce me? I need to be seduced by an older woman.
I am not an older woman.
Older than me, not older per se.
You've fallen in love with someone that doesn't exist.
Tragedy.
Oh,
Really?
yes.
What do you want?
To die.
Just sleep.
No more.
And the bus driver loses it, stops the bus in the middle of the road, climbs out of his cab, strips off his clothes, and walks down the street. His cute little arms shining in the sun.
I drink till I'm sick.
Everywhere I go, I see him. I know the plates. I know the car. Does he think I don't know?
You're never as powerful as when you know you're powerless.
I shake when I don't have it.
Bleeding.
Brain melts when I do.
I run through the poppy field at the back of my grandfather's farm. When I burst in through the kitchen door, I saw him sitting with my grandmother on his lap. He kissed her on the lips and caressed her breast. They looked around and saw me smiling at my confusion. When I related this to my mother more than 10 years later, she stared at me oddly and said, "That didn't happen to you. It happened to me. My father died before you were born. When that happened, I was pregnant with you, but I didn't know it until the day of the funeral.
We pass these messages.
Someone, somewhere is crying for me, crying for my death.
My fingers inside her, my tongue in her mouth.
I wish to live with myself.
No witnesses.
And if this makes no sense, then you understand perfectly.
What would you think?
No, that's not it.
Time after time, some fucking excuse.
Leave.
Come back.
Stay.
Stay.
Can't have this again.
Son.
Don't.
I have a backside, I know. I have a side so green that you'll never know.
Have another drink, another cigarette.
Sometimes the shape of my head alarms me. When I catch sight of it reflected in a dark train window, the landscape passing through the image of my head. Not that there's anything unusual or alarming about the shape of my head, but it does alarm me.
Why do you do this?
I find it alarming.
There's so little time.
I hate the smell of my own family.
Base 1, base 2, base 3. Bingo.
You'll smell better when you're dead than you do now.
An American woman translated a novel from Spanish into English. She asked her Spanish classmates his opinion of her work. This translation was very bad. He said he would help her and she offered to pay him for this time. He refused. She offered to take him out to dinner. This was acceptable to him, so he agreed. But she forgot. The Spaniard is still waiting for his dinner.
El dinero viene solo.
Alone.
If love would come.
It's just not me.
Has it ever occurred to you you're looking in the wrong place?
No.
No.
It's very nice. Will you make me one?
It's made of eggshells and concrete.
Will you make me one?
Concrete, paint, and
I
eggshells.
didn't ask what it was made of. I asked if you would make me one.
Every time I have an egg, I stick the shell on there and spray it.
She sees through walls.
Will you make me one?
Other lives.
A mother beats a child's favorite shoe because it runs out in front of a car.
You stop thinking of yourself as I, you think of we.
Let's just go to bed.
No.
A wish under pressure.
Cry blue murder.
Do not remove your gloves until you leave the last town.
Are you a lesbian?
Oh, please.
I thought that might be why you don't have any children.
Why?
I never met a man I trusted.
Why what?
You trust me?
This has nothing to do with you.
Why what?
I'm not interested in you.
Why what? Why what?
I'm not interested in this first fucking thing about you.
I don't drink. I hate smoking. I'm a vegetarian. I don't fuck around. I've never visited a prostitute and I've never had a sexually transmitted disease other than this does. I'm afraid. Make me a rarity, if not human.
Look.
Listen.
Look, my nose.
What about it?
What do you think?
Broken.
I've never broken a bone in my body.
Christ.
But my dad has smashed his nose in a car crash when he was 18. And I've got this. Genetically impossible, but there it is. We pass these messages faster than we think and in ways we don't think possible.
If I was, if I was,
Hurry up, please, it's time.
And you don't think that a child conceived by rape would suffer?
but as it is,
You think I'm going to rape you?
yes.
No,
Yes.
No.
no.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that possible?
I see no God in anyone anymore.
Okay. I was, okay? I was. Okay. I was, okay? 2 people, right?
Okay.
One of these days.
Soon. Very soon.
No.
But looks aren't everything.
It's just not me.
Small boy had an imaginary friend. They took her to the beach and they played in the sea. A man came from the water and took her away. The following morning, the body of the girl was found washed up on the beach,
What's that got to do with anything?
clutching a fistful of
Sand. Sorry.
Everything.
What's anything got to do with anything?
Nothing.
That's the worst of it.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Is this what it is? Is this it?
How much longer?
How many more times?
Corrupt or
How much
inept?
more?
And fall.
Go away.
Now.
Go away.
I'm sorry.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
What for?
Have you ever raped anyone?
I'm sorry I'm following you.
No.
Why not?
There's worse things than being fat and 50,
Why not?
being dead and 30.
I'm the kind of woman about whom people say, who was that woman?
The question is, where do you live and where do you want to live?
Absence sleeps between the buildings at night.
This city fucking love it. Couldn't live nowhere else. Couldn't.
Where did you find it?
Where do I start?
Japanese man in love with his virtual reality girlfriend.
You look reasonably happy for someone who's not.
Where do I stop?
Thoughts in turmoil.
Here.
I'm looking for a time and a place free of things that crawl, fly, or sting.
Inside.
Here.
Be the one.
She left.
I don't want to grow old and cold and be too poor to dye my hair.
You get mixed messages because I have mixed feelings.
I don't want to be living in a bed sit at 60, too scared to turn the heater on because I can't pay the bill.
What ties me to you is guilt.
I don't want to die alone and not be found till my bones are lean and the rent overdue.
I don't want to stay.
I don't want to stay.
I want you to leave.
If love would come.
Let it happen.
No.
It's leaving me behind.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Let me go.
I don't want to have to buy you Christmas presents anymore.
Just a name would be nice.
You're very naive if you think you'll still have those kind of choices.
My back aches.
My head aches.
My heart aches.
You shouldn't sleep next to the radiator.
Where should I sleep?
Do you want a massage?
Don't touch me.
I shouldn't be doing this.
One touch.
Will you get into trouble?
No,
Isolated out.
I mustn't get attached.
It's only natural.
Seeing another human being in distress?
I just feel.
Seduce you.
Not tie me up.
Be grateful.
As a child, I liked to piss on the carpet. The carpet rotted and I blamed it on the dog.
I am unable to know you.
You want to know me.
Utterly unknowable.
Here.
I need a child.
That's all?
It's everything.
That's all.
Many ni is zepa ni u zep.
Mother,
The king is dead. Long live the king.
If it could be an act of love,
I can't remember
whose?
anymore.
Why do you think that is?
My mind's a blank.
Why are you laughing?
Someone has died.
You think I'm laughing?
Why are you crying?
You're dead to me.
You think I'm crying?
I'll cry if you laugh.
You could be my mother.
I am not your mother. A baby.
Baby,
Oh, I'm sorry. Now.
Am I an unnecessary complication?
Sporadic addict.
no one but you.
Addicted to sickness.
Not you, it's me.
It's always me.
To you and do your shopping and carry your bags and tell you how much with you, but they keep making me do stupid things.
It's not me. It's you.
Pointless fucking.
Timesheet.
6-month plan.
And I want to play hide and seek and give you my clothes and tell you I like your shoes and sit on the steps while you take a bath and massage your neck and kiss your feet and hold your hands and go for a meal and not mine when you eat my food. And meet you at Rudy's and talk about the day and type up your letters and carry your boxes and laugh at your paranoia and give you tapes you don't listen to. Watch great films and watch terrible films and complain about the radio and take pictures of you when you're sleeping. Get up to fetch you coffee at midnight and have you stick my cigarette and never be able to find a match and tell you about the TV program I saw the night before and take you to the eye hospital and not laugh at your jokes and want you in the morning but let you sleep for a while and kiss you back and stroke your skin and tell you how much I love your hair, your eyes, your lips, your neck, your breast, your ass, your and sit on the steps smoking till your neighbor comes home and sit on the steps smoking till you come home and worry when you're late and be amazed when you're early and give you sunflowers and go to your party and dance I'm black and be sorry when I'm wrong and happy when you forgive me and look at your photos and wish I'd known
Surely, are you here?
your hair to the left. Yes, I'm here. Am I not audible?
Yeah, go ahead, continue.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm black and be sorry when I'm wrong and be happy when you forgive me and look at your photos and wish I'd known you forever and hear your voice in my ear and feel your skin on my skin and get scared when you're angry and your eye has gone red and the other eye blue and your hair to the left and your face oriental and tell you you're gorgeous and hug you when you're anxious and hold you when you're hurt and want you when I smell you and offend you when I touch you and whimper when I'm next to you whimper when I'm not a dribble and dribble on your dress and smother you in the night and get cold when you take the blanket and hot when you don't and melt when you smile and dissolve when you laugh and not understand why you think I'm rejecting you when I'm not rejecting you and wonder how you could think I'd ever reject you and wonder who you are but accept you anyway. The tree angel enchanted forest boy who flew across the ocean because he loved you and write poems for you. And wonder why you don't believe me and have a feeling so deep. I can't find words for it. I want to die you a kitten. And I'd get jealous of you because it would get more attention than me and keep you in bed when you have to go and cry like a baby when you finally do and get rid of the roaches and buy you presents you don't want to take them away and ask you to marry me and you say no again but keep keep on asking because though you think I don't mean it, I do always have from the first time asked you and wander the city thinking it's empty without you and want what you want and think I'm losing myself but no I'm safe with you and tell you the first of me and try to give you the best of me because You don't deserve any less, and answer your questions, and then I'd rather not and tell you the truth when I really don't want to, and try to be honest because I know you prefer it and think it's all over, but hang on in for just 10 more minutes before you throw me out of your life and forget who I am and try to get closer to you because it's beautiful learning to know you. And I word the word and speak German to you badly and Hebrew to you worse and make love with you at 3 in the morning and somehow communicate some of the overwhelming, undying, overpouring, unconditional, all encompassing, heart enriching, mind expanding, ongoing, never ending love I have for you.
All right. That was a great monologue. Let's switch up
Wow.
characters for a while. Um,
That was some.
so okay, I'm just reassigning people. Avik is going to take C from now. Raghav is taking M. Sukhdeep is taking B, and I'll take A. All right. So yeah, whoever is, yeah, Avik, go ahead.
This has to stop. 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 This has to stop.
Don't they understand? I've got important things to do.
It's getting worse.
I'm lost, so fucking lost in a mess of a woman.
She wants a kid yesterday.
And what will I do when you throw me away?
Listen,
Look,
listen. I am here to remember. I need to remember. I have this grief, and I don't know why.
You're always gorgeous, but you're particularly gorgeous when you come.
A violent, terrified, paralyzed child.
As she gets more and more angry, off. Come more, and more close as it gets less and less likely she'll let me anywhere near her.
I have a bad feeling about this. Bad feeling.
I'm so lonely, so fucking lonely.
I didn't
I don't.
understand.
Control, control, relax, and control.
It is this woman with the desolate eyes for whom I would die.
Her hair is white, but for some reason, perhaps because her hair is white, I have no idea how old she is.
Sunny landscapes, pastel walls, gentle air conditioning.
I keep trying to understand, but I don't.
I look at the large beige Hessian cushion, try to connect, try to decipher myself, woven into the clean blank fabric.
When does it stop?
And then at the paisley green cushion, a thoroughly inappropriate cushion to represent any part of me, especially the parts I am showing to her.
Do you have a relationship with men?
Busy, happy, busy, happy, busy, happy, busy, happy.
Do you have relationships with men?
The only thing I want to say, I have already said already. And it's a bit bucking tedious to say it again, no matter how true it is, no matter that it's the only unifying thought humanity has.
How can you leave me like this?
My grief has nothing to do with men. I am having a breakdown because I'm going to die.
Long before I had a chance to adore all of you, I adore the bits of you I could see.
The woman with dragon eyes.
A blue into green.
All blue.
I don't have music. Christ, I wish I had music, but all I have is words.
Du bist der Lebens.
Don't cut me out.
Something inside me that kicks like a bastard.
A dull ache in my solar plexus.
Gag for a fag.
Have you ever been hospitalized?
Pain by association.
I need a miracle to save me.
What for?
Insanity.
Anorexia, bulimia.
Whatever.
No,
Never.
sorry,
The truth is simple.
I'm evil, I'm damaged, and no one can save me.
Death is an option.
I disgust myself.
Depression's inadequate. A full scale emotional collapse is the minimum required to justify letting everyone down.
The coward's way out.
I don't have the courage.
I think about you.
Dream about you. Dream about you.
Talk about
Can't,
Talk about you.
can't get you out of my system.
It's okay.
I like you in my system.
No performance needed.
One fine morning in the month of May,
Got it.
it could be my mother.
I'm not your mother.
I have this guilt and I don't know why.
The only love can save me, and love has destroyed me.
A field, a basement, a bed, a car.
In a day or two, I'll go back for another affair. Although the affair is now so ongoing, it almost constitutes a relationship.
Go on.
If you don't want me to come, I won't come. You can say it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but it's better to say. Then I'll know. So,
Beyond the pale.
Beyond the pain. Beyond.
Choose focus.
Yeah, go ahead.
Choose focus. Apply.
I fancy my chances.
I buy a new tape recorder and blank tapes.
I always do.
I have old ones that will do just as well in actuality. But the truth has little to do with actuality. And the point, if there is one, is to record the truth.
I'm so tired.
I crave white on white and black. But my thoughts race in glorious technicolor, prodding me awake, sweeping away the warm blanket of invisibility every time it shears to smother my mind in nothing.
Most people,
They get on.
they get up.
They get on.
My hollow heart is full of darkness.
One touch record.
Filled with emptiness.
Satisfied with nothing.
One touch.
Record.
My bowel curls at his touch.
Poor love.
I feel nothing. Nothing. I feel nothing.
I came back.
If she had
I'm
left,
going to die.
This abuse has gone on long enough.
maggots everywhere.
There's no one like you.
Whenever I look really close at something, it swarms with white larvae.
Black folding in.
I open my mouth and I'm too full of them crawling down my throat.
Something happened.
So aghast.
I try to pull it out, but it gets longer and longer. There's no end to it. I swallow it and pretend it isn't there.
Imperceptibly, slowly, and in an instant.
Nothing spectacular.
I keep coming back.
Horror so deep, only ritual can contain it.
Express it.
Explain it.
Maintain it.
Bizos Brujos Kume Matan.
The navy denim dress I wore at 6, the elastic red and blue belt tied around my waist, nylon socks, the hard crust of scabs on my knees, the metal barred climbing frame between my legs. David,
No!
I cannot love you because I can't with you.
clean slate, long love.
I was catching a plane.
A psychic predicted that I would not get on this flight, but that while overboard, the plane would crash and he would be killed. I didn't know what to do. If I missed the flight, I would be fulfilling the prophecies, so risking my lover's death. But in order to break the prophecy, I would have to get on a plane which seemed destined to crash.
And what did you do?
Again,
Begin again.
Purple hair is scratching my legs.
Anything but this.
A handsome blonde 14-year-old, his thumbs hooked over his jeans, half exposing his buttocks, his blue eyes full of the sun.
Sick of it, ma'am. I'm totally fucking sick of it.
What did you do?
Nothing. Nothing. I did nothing.
none of this matters because I'm simply not in love with you.
And I'm shaking, sobbing with the memory of her when she loved me before I was a torturer. Before there was no room in me for her. Before I was misunderstood. In fact, the very moment I saw her, her smiling eyes full of the sun, and I shudder with grief for that moment which I've been hurtling away from ever since.
Begin again. Begin again.
Move on.
I look at her breast.
A balloon of milk,
Sooner or later,
a bubble of blood,
One way or another.
gurgling blood,
That is going into my mouth.
thick yellow blood.
My pain is nothing compared to hers.
But,
And this is crucial.
Don't say no to me.
I keep coming back.
You have this effect.
can't say no.
Dark angel, divine.
It's not him I want.
I fucking miss you.
It's my virginity.
I miss fucking you.
A 14-year-old to steal my virginity on the moon and rape me till I come.
One of these days.
Soon. Very soon.
Love you till then.
And after?
I have children. The men come. I'm fighting, but they take them. I realize the men, they came, they said, in the night, they said,
And don't say no to me. You can't say no to me because it's such a relief to have love again and to lie in a bed, be held and touched and kissed and adored. And your heart will leap when you hear my voice and you see my smile and feel my breath on your neck. Your heart will race when I want you to see you. I will lie to you from the day one. Use you and screw you and break your heart because you broke mine first. And you will love me more each day until the weight is unbearable and your life is mine and you'll die alone. Because I will take what I want and walk away. And oh, nothing, it's always there, it's always been there. You cannot deny the life you feel. Fuck that life, fuck that life, fuck that life, fuck that life. I've lost you now.
got me.
Now I have found you. I can stop looking for myself.
She touched my arm and smiled.
One of those faces I could never have imagined.
We checked into a hotel pretending we weren't going to have sex.
Eyes, whispers, shades, and shadows.
Where are you going? Who are you seeking? What are you doing?
Je vais me rosnelli.
I have to be where I want to be.
I can't have this again.
We made love, and then she threw up.
No one to help me, not my fucking mother neither.
I crossed 2 rivers and wet my one.
I close my eyes and I see her close her eyes and she sees you.
The scream of a daffodil.
Stain of the scream.
I watched my father beat my mother with a walking stick.
A stain.
An echo.
A stain.
I'm sorry you saw that. I'm sorry he did it.
I despair of despair.
No regret.
I swear I can't bear to look at you.
I did nothing.
I did nothing.
I want to feel physically like I feel emotionally starved.
Beaten.
Broken.
He buys me a makeup kit, blushes and lipsticks and eyeshadow, and I paint my face in bruises and blood and cuts and swelling and on the mirror in deep red, ugly.
Death is my lover, and he wants me to move in.
What do you mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean when what you're saying?
Be a woman. Be a woman. Fuck you.
There's something very unflattering about being desired when the other person is so drunk that can't see.
Oh, fuck you.
I tried to explain that I don't want to sleep with someone who won't appreciate how hard it was for me the following morning, but he had passed out by the time I finished my sentence.
QED.
Still sleeping with daddy.
The games we play.
Eyes with them.
Your hair is an act of God.
A Vietnamese girl, her entire existence given meaning and permanence in 30 seconds she fled from a village. Skin melting, mouth open.
No one can hate me more than I hate myself.
I am not what I am what I do.
This is terrible.
This is true.
The thing I swore I'd never do, the thing I
All
swore.
All that pain.
Forever.
Till now.
On my children's lives, my children's love.
Why do you drink so much?
The fangs are killing me fast enough.
M- My laughter is a bubble of despair.
Rule 1.
No record.
No letters.
No credit card bills for afternoons and hotel rooms. No receipt for expensive jewelry. No calling at home and then hanging up in silence.
No feeling.
No emotion.
A cold fuck and a goldfish memory.
My bowels gave away.
Throbbing between shame and guilt.
Mess.
She knows.
It's just not me.
Never keeps souvenirs of a murder.
Everything's clear.
Another girl.
Another life.
I did nothing. Nothing.
I did nothing.
Beyond pale.
God forgive me. I want to be clean.
He screams at me to see what I have become.
Go on.
Why can no one make love to me the way I want to be loved?
I could be your mother.
You're not my mother.
Soon. Very soon.
Now.
I have faked orgasms before, but this is the first time I have faked not having an orgasm.
From under the door steps a black pool of blood.
Why?
What?
Why what?
What?
When he's generous, kind and thoughtful and happy, I know he's having an affair.
He thinks we are stupid. He thinks we don't know.
A third person in my bed whose face eludes me.
Just me.
Just the way I am.
Nothing to be done.
Give, sympathize, control.
Now.
So tired of secrets.
That's not me.
She's currently having some kind of nervous breakdown and wishes she had been born black, male, and more attractive,
I give myself.
or just more attractive,
I give my heart.
or just different.
But that's not really giving.
Just someone fucking else.
Fragile and choking.
She ceases to continue with the day-to-day farce of getting through the next few hours in an attempt to ward off the fact that she doesn't know how to get through the next 40 years.
I love you still.
Against my will.
She's talking about herself in the third person because the idea of being who she is, of acknowledging that she is herself, is more than her pride can take.
With a fucking wind.
She's sick to the fucking wills of herself and wishes that something would happen to make life begin.
I'm a much nicer person since I had an affair.
You can only kill yourself if you are not already dead.
Guilt does that.
Because now I know that betrayal means nothing.
Two women at the foot of a cross.
A flower opens in the heat of the sun.
A face screaming into the hollow nothing.
It's it's real. It's real. Dead real. Dead real.
A private iconography which I cannot decipher.
Beyond my comprehension.
Beyond mine.
Beyond.
There's a difference between articulacy and intelligence. I can't articulate the difference, but there is one.
Empty.
Sickened.
White.
Love me.
Guilt lingers like the smell of death, and nothing can free me from this cloud of blood.
You killed my mother.
She was already dead.
If you want me to abuse you, I will abuse you.
She died.
People die.
It happened.
My entire life is waiting to see the person with whom I am currently obsessed, starving the weeks away until our next 50-minute appointment.
MNO.
I write the truth and it kills me.
On the run.
We're too high.
I hate these words that keep me alive. I hate these words that won't let me die.
Expressing my pain without easing it.
Ha ha ha.
Ho ho ho.
It is not acceptable for me to be me.
And you're losing your mind in front of my eyes.
It slipped silently out of control.
Let me.
Go.
A small girl became increasingly paralyzed by her parents' frequently violent rows. Sometimes she would spend hours standing completely still in the toilet, simply because that was where she had happened to be when the fight began. Finally, in the moments of calm, she would take bottles of milk from the fridge or the doorstep and leave them in places where she may later become trapped. Her parents were unable to understand why they found bottles of sour milk in every room in the house.
Why?
What?
Why what?
What?
Why are you crying?
There's no news here.
Well,
You were so persistent.
it's always me.
You always knew this.
It's out of control.
How did I lose
You threw me away.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
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 No. Yes.
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 Ah!
Single scribble scream.
Ah! Ah! Oh! Ah! Pee!
Ha.
If you won't talk, I can't help you.
This place.
ES3.
I am the beast at the end of the rope.
Silence or violence.
The choice is yours.
Don't fill my stomach if you can't fill my heart.
You will fill my head as only someone who is absent can.
Impaired judgment, sexual dysfunction, anxiety, headaches, nervousness, sleeplessness, restlessness, nausea, diarrhea, itching, shaking, sweating, twitching.
That's what I'm suffering from now.
It's okay.
It won't matter.
It doesn't matter.
put me down or put me away.
No one survives life.
And no one can know what the night is like.
Has it ever occurred to you you're in the wrong place?
No?
Never.
No.
If I die here, I was murdered by daytime television.
I lied for you, and that is why I cannot love you.
Do not demand.
Do not entreat.
Learn. Why can't I learn?
You switch on my light every hour to check if I'm still breathing.
Again?
I tell them deprivation is a form of torture.
Again and again.
If you commit suicide, you'll only have to come back, go through it again.
The same lesson again and again.
Thou shalt not kill thyself.
Vanity, not sanity, will keep me intact.
Do you ever hear voices?
Only when they talk to me.
Very souls with dry mouths.
I'm not ill. I just know that life is not worth living.
I've lost my faith in honesty.
Lost my faith in
Forwards, upwards, onwards.
Lost.
199714424.
Move on.
I do not trust.
I do not care.
Out. Out into what?
A black fucking hole of half love.
Move on.
And I hate the consoled and the consoler.
I'm much fucking angrier than you think.
I cannot trust you and I cannot respect you.
I'm no longer honest.
Okay, let's just switch up because we've reached page 40. It was fun reading, but I just want to give everyone else a chance as well. So, okay, who all read right now? Okay, so Shioli, you can take B for Bombay. Nandini, you can take A. And Aditya can take C and Ashwarya can take M. Is that cool? Is everyone?
May I take one?
1 second. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Bhupesh. Let me assign you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't write it down. No, that's why.
Bhupesh can do M. I'm okay with not reading school.
Okay. Perfect. So Bhupesh does M. Thank you, Nandini, for sorting this
cool.
out. Let's go.
I swear.
Let's go.
Okay, I was A. You took that from me and I cannot love you.
Back to life.
An empty car park which I never can leave.
The city
There's a
sky.
roof over the city sky.
Oh, sorry.
I'm B, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're B.
Should sleep between the buildings at night.
Between the cars and the lay-by.
Between the day and the night.
I have to be where I'm meant to be.
Let.
Me.
So,
The outside world is vastly overrated.
Let the day perish in which I was born. Let the blackness of the night terrify it. Let the stars of its dawn be dark. May it not see the eyelids of the morning, because at the door of my mother's womb.
The thing that if fear comes upon me,
I hate you.
I need you.
need more.
Need change.
All the totally predictable and sickening futility in our relationship.
Real life.
Real love.
One that is rooted and grows upward in daylight.
What's she got that I haven't got?
Me.
The things I want with you.
It's just not me.
There are no secrets.
It's only blindness.
You've fallen in love with someone that doesn't exist.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
I knew this.
I knew this.
Why can't I learn?
I won't settle for a life in the dark.
Don't look at the sun. Don't look at the sun.
I love you.
Too late.
It's over. We don't know we're born.
What have they done to me? 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 What have they done to me?
Grow up and stop blaming her mother.
Life happens.
Like flowers.
Like sunshine,
Like nightfall.
a motion away.
Not a motion towards.
It is not my fault.
As if the direction makes any difference.
Nobody knows.
My heart is broken.
It was never my fault.
Kept coming back.
Now and forever.
I'm not fighting for you anymore.
The vision,
The loss.
The pain,
The loss.
the gain.
The loss.
the light.
If you died, it would be like my bones had been removed. No one would know why, but I would collapse.
If I could be free of you,
If I could be free.
That's not it.
No, not at all.
That is not what I meant at all.
I broke her heart. What more do I want?
the vision,
The light.
the pain,
The light.
The gain.
The light.
the loss.
Circle is the only geometric shape defined by its center. No chicken and egg about it. The center comes first. The circumference follows. The earth by definition has a center, and only the fool that knows it can go wherever he pleases, knowing the center will hold him down, stop him flying out of orbit. But when your sense of center shifts, comes whizzing to the surface, the balance has gone. The balance has gone. The balance, my baby, has gone.
When she left,
Sign of my life is broken.
Why is life given to one in misery,
bring her back.
and life to the bitter in soul,
If you were here,
I am here.
like a deep summer shadow?
I love her, I miss her.
I'm true.
Move on.
Why did I not die at birth?
Come forth from the womb.
And expire.
Move in shadows, once in fog,
Pain is a shadow.
shadow of my life.
Red rock of ages.
You're not a bad person. You just think too much.
Let me hide myself.
Can you?
Would you?
Will you?
Move on.
Never again, I swear on Christ.
If I lose my voice, I'm through.
Still here.
But I won't.
Not this time.
Not me.
Not yet.
It's like waiting for your hair to grow.
Paz extravesa como el día me corre.
That's me. Exists in the swing. Never still, never one thing or the other. Always moving from one extreme to the furthest reaches of other.
Sweet.
One touch.
So fucking sweet.
The cord.
Where's my personality gone?
I'm too old for this.
Couldn't love you less.
I love you more.
Just
When am I perfectly honest?
Take no more.
This never happened.
What I sometimes mistake for ecstasy is simply the absence of grief.
you have nothing.
All or nothing.
None of it.
All of
All
it.
of it.
None.
I'm an old just feeling pain into my own until
Remember,
anymore.
maybe you're right.
Maybe I'm bad.
But God has blessed the mark of Kane.
Date.
Don't know.
Don't know.
पापा वाईफाई को कुछ हो गया क्या? वाईफाई I'm so sorry, guys. I just got logged out. My internet just passed out for a second. Let me just share the screen and we'll be back. Okay. Where were we exactly? I think I was here till. Let's just start from this page. Let's just start from B.
Wait,
Don't know.
It's a punishment for hedging your bets.
Keep coming back.
again and again.
The eternal return.
If I lose my voice, I'm fucked.
Shit on a plate. Look enthusiastic, or your own mother would take you apart.
Get the nightman in.
My life is nothing special.
Stream of habits are events like any other.
Stream into a salty ocean that stings. Stings but does not kill.
You're dead to me.
An act of love.
You're not my mother.
We were many things.
Something clicked.
But I'd never say that we were ever in love.
Found her.
Loved her.
Lost her.
And
Okay, I just wanted to switch up one last time for the people who didn't get a chance. Okay, Shubhangi, I'm giving you a character. Just give me a second. Shubhangi, take C. And Raghav, you can take A. And B, I want. Who else is left? Sukhdeep, take B. And Aditya, you can take M.
Cool.
Any character left? No, nothing. Yeah, so it's A, B, C, and M, right? Yeah. So we have 4. Yeah.
I'm B, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Can you?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just see.
Sorry, who's C again?
Shubhangi, you can start. Just see.
Something has lifted.
Outside the city.
Before the shit started.
Above the city.
Shubhangi, just see.
I think I entered.
Yeah.
Are you here, Shubhangi? I think, yeah, it's something with the internet. Can you hear us, Shubhangi?
She's saying yes.
I think we can't hear her. She can hear us.
Maybe.
Just try reading once. Just see if that works. Okay, no, I'm just getting very cool
that was good.
Yeah.
electricity
No, we
sounds.
can't hear you.
He's become Robocop all of the time.
This reminds me of Arrival.
Oh.
Shubhangi, okay, let's just keep that on hold for now. For C, how about Yeah, yeah,
Really
please.
recording?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Just another dream.
Okay.
Yeah, another drink. Yeah.
Another dream.
Across the river that once in shadow.
In the virgin, the fools do dish free.
One wish.
A cool summer and a mild winter.
No fights, no floods.
Darkness surrounds a collapsing star.
A long, deep sleep with you in my arms.
No one, nothing, no shit.
Assimilated but not obliterated.
Peace.
A sickly glare with no single source.
A pale gold sea under a pale pink sky.
A distant bell crosses the empty sea.
Clouds coverage as I see I'm on a globe.
It's the other hand.
See you again.
Waves sob like a pulse.
Here I am once again. Here I am. In the darkness once again.
With the edge of nothing.
Here I am.
Hold my hand.
Glory be to the Father.
The truth is behind you.
I'd give it all up for you. Oh, my. Yeah.
I'd give it all up for you.
As it was in the beginning.
Beyond the darkness.
And ever shall be.
Into the light.
At the end of the day, it comes back to this.
Gaining time.
Comes back to me.
But losing light.
Oh, sorry.
To this.
Fat and shiny and dead silly.
Can't save you.
And clean.
Other lives.
No fucker can.
Roll into a ball.
Deliver my soul, form the soul.
I wake as I dream.
Alone.
Which passeth all understanding.
I don't dream anymore.
I have no dreams.
Gaining light.
I cross the river.
But losing time.
I can't say no to you.
Free of memory.
Free of desire.
Lie low. Provoke nothing.
Say nothing.
Invisible.
And even dreams aren't private.
Best to forget.
Random acts of meaningless joy.
You made love by the river.
Forget.
Rape me.
Is it possible?
Cured my body but can't cure my soul.
I'm so tired.
I keep coming back.
Be the one.
Patch and paint and paste a look onto my face.
My life in black and white in reverse.
Complete.
Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law.
Now.
Love is the law, yonder will.
I feel nothing. Nothing. I feel nothing.
Satan, my lord, I am yours.
No, 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 no.
Don't forget that poetry is language for its own sake. Don't forget when different words are sanctioned, other attitudes required. Don't forget decorum. Don't forget decorum.
Kill me.
Free falling.
Into the light.
Bright white light.
World without end.
You're dead to me.
Glorious. Glorious.
And ever shall be.
Happy.
So happy.
Happy and free.
And that brings us to the end of the play, I guess. Yes. So these are the translations. I can't scroll up to see that, but like just for your, references, I'm gonna keep that open for a second. And yeah, we're done with the play. I just like whoever wants to start, please go ahead. Start the discussion, man. Or let me just like give you guys a piece of what was going on in my head. It's an intense play, but I like it because I tend to find these intense plays very fun. Like I find a lot of humor, and I don't know why, but it's it's just a great energy you get when you see something so personal being written. Like this play and most of Sarah Kane now figured. For me, it's like those passing thoughts you have, which are all in your head, like while you're like asleep or like you're feeling down. I get the feeling of me like trying to sleep in the worst mood ever, having like 20 voices in my head talking, and that's this play. Like that's how I always like see Sarah Kane's plays. Like it's always, they don't seem like different characters. I feel like they're just voices in one. Of course, that's what I feel like, the voices in one person's head. And the sort of fascinating thing about, not actually fascinating, but the tragic thing about this play is that after this play, this was Sarah Kane's last play after she committed suicide. So it, in that way, it's a little, it's a little spooky that way. So I just wanted to give you guys this information. And yeah, anyone else who wants to, just give us a piece of their head.
Uh, you know, yeah, I think I read somewhere this wasn't her last play. Her last play was, I don't know, I forgot the name, but her last play ended with a suicide. After which she committed suicide, and I can't recall the name of the play. But as far as I know, I don't think this was her last play. I might
Yeah,
be wrong.
then I must have. Yeah, even I might be wrong. I mean, like, all I know, that's the story you're saying is something I've read, but I thought it's this play. But yeah, like, again, it's just tragic to see how.
There is a play which has a similar structure, but only towards the end, which is called How to Disappear Completely and Never Be Found. Like what you were mentioning about that, this is just different voices in your head. It's the same thing for that. It's a representation of your conscience, the different aspects of your conscience that comes across. And I mean, there's no points for guessing what that story is about. It's about disappearing completely and never being found. What are you disappearing from? The whole idea of those back and forth lines of those different characters, they completing each other's sentences. That's there. I'm saying if you want to read, you can read that one next to figure out what how it's used as a device for explaining a message.
Right.
In times like it's because it's such I'd say broken up thoughts. Like when you're in a state of mind like this, you're not thinking straight. There are too many thoughts that come, and that long monologue, it's like it's one of those monologues which is not monologue for the sake of monologues. It's a journey in itself. It takes you through an idea of, this is your routine. This is where the routine was broken. This is what happened, and this is how I feel, right? And it like even the wording, the pacing of that monologue, just reading it in your head is it gives you different feelings at every moment that you listen to. And if you stop focusing one moment, you will land up on another moment.
Right.
That's
Such a powerful monologue. Yeah. So like Aditya told, it did feel like it was voices rather than different people. And if I don't know if you've seen the TV show Mr. Robot, it felt like Mr. Robot, but without just the coding and full focusing on the mental health part. It had that same kind of intensity and like it's just too intense. I mean, like I'm not sure how I'm able to compare these two, but I think if you've seen the show, you would know it. And towards the end, if you take one particular line, like randomly, if you take any particular line, it feels like there's, what do you say? You've seen WhatsApp quotes like "I cry in the rain because I don't want you to see my tears." Some kind. So a lot of one-liners like that. I mean, like you pick randomly, and that'll be like a WhatsApp quote of sorts. I felt that. It gave a lot of energy.
That's a joke.
That is so on point.
Damn, it was super intense. I couldn't make what I was reading. I was just reading. That's all.
Yeah, I just
I feel
Yeah. No, I was just like interjecting and then you guys can continue. I got just checked up. Yeah. Nandini, you're right. It's 448 Psychosis, which was her last play, which also ended in suicide. But I got confused because this also ended in suicide. And I didn't know which one was her last play, but like these were the couple of plays which were sort of like because of again like they address this and it's a very personal thing, so that's why people tend to relate most of her real life to what she writes, because you can genuinely see that this is just someone who's in firstly like a lot of pain and like the first I'm sorry, I'm like eating up everyone else's I just hogged the mic, but just like let me go on for like one more minute.
Go on.
um what I felt was like for Sarah Kane, I feel like she was through some she's been through like a lot of trauma, and this is just her, like it's with trauma, like things just change, like there is no like base, so there is no common ground which you can make with other people, because that person has such a different past, and that just changes like people and their outlook, so it often becomes hard for everyone else to see things through their eyes. But in that way, I think she's done a great job in like being brutally honest and just like showing it the way it is. And yeah, just like that's the sad part of the play, I feel. Yeah, I mean, please go ahead, whoever else.
I have a question. So, you said that this play also ends in suicide, but like the way that I see it, and it could be, place where I'm coming from, it doesn't necessarily have to end in suicide. It could also be a person continuing to live with that pain. And it's wishful thinking to be happy and free the way that she ends it. But I I mean, I got an inkling that it could be her ending her life, but I also chose not to see it that way. So I just want to know from
Hmm.
your perspective, what made you say that?
What made me? Uh, I mean, you've put it in a very beautiful way. So I would just say that that's just one of the initial thoughts I had. But again, like because that's what happens in plays like these avant-garde plays where you take your own meaning and it's how it is. It's just left. It's just left there. Like these are just words being said, and you have to take what you want to take out of it. Yeah, like I honestly don't know. I mean, it can also it's like it can also be like the most rational way of looking at it, or like the most basic way of looking at it would be that okay, yeah, I mean, like she ended with like she's seeing suicide as this final destination, and there she's seeing light, and that's where she's seeing all the beauty, because like the initial parts of the play were about her addressing her past and her pain, and now she's finally arriving at something which is maybe less painful and more beautiful than what she's lived so far. But like that's just like one way of looking at it. There can be other ways as well, like you rightly said. So yeah, I completely agree with what you've said.
Don't you feel like the whole thing was complicated? Not complicated, but like just a single suicide letter. I felt it was. I felt the whole play was a single suicide letter, something like that. Like she explaining where she was coming from, and then finally, she was just expressing. I mean, like to express that kind of trauma itself is a huge feat. Uh, the saying which says that art comes from pain, I think it's truly justified here. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Hmm. Anything? Anybody else? Bhupesh, Shubhangi, Shioli,
Yeah,
Avik. Any comments?
yeah.
Any
So
takeaways?
weird thought because a year or so back, I'd written something. I meant it to be a poem, and it was something similar to this. There was just three or four voices inside my head. It was 3 in the morning, and I just penned it down. And there was this conversation, and I didn't know anything about writing poems. I've never studied English or literature, anything else. So I meant it to be a poem, and it was good for me. I mean, it was surprising for me to discover that there's the structure of writing a play. And my piece was too short compared to this. It was what, like 25, 30 lines, and it was a similar pattern. 3 voices going at each other, randomly saying anything and conversing. Nobody knows the order, and I put it up on Instagram. Nobody seemed to understand what was happening.
That's always the case.
They were just as lost as me. So this was really cool to read, for me at least.
Yeah.
Like, why these alphabets and why they're not even in any ordered way? Why not names for the characters?
Yeah.
What do you think? And why this like B? Why not ABCD? Why?
By M.
I feel like the whole idea must have been to not attribute anything to these characters and have them simply be voices. So, I mean, I can't speak for why the sporadic order, but that could also be, just to throw in like a little bit like chaos in that scenario as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
I also feel like at first I thought that this was going to be like completely monologuish, wherein each character is talking to the audience like through a monologue. But then I don't know, I felt like C and M. I think they were talking to each other.
Yeah, there was a part in the middle where they started conversing, and
Yeah.
before that it was very, just like going
So I
monologue.
don't really know. Yeah, exactly. So I don't really know what was happening because uh, were they like, I don't know, are they the same person who, I mean, is this like something that's going on in a person's head who has like
Head.
multiple
Yeah.
personalities or and they're talking to themselves or they're just talking to some other entity like the audience, right? So I didn't really grasp who exactly, how exactly they're conversing and who are they conversing with. But yeah, I do feel like initially it was monologuish and then they just started to talk to each other. So
Right.
yeah.
So, while I was reading the play, I realized that it's sort of like 4 parallel lines which converges at certain points, except like at first instance, we can't really make out who's talking to whom. I feel like on a second and third reading, there might be a lot more conversations between all this randomness that we might be able to make out.
Yeah.
In my head, it was going like 4 different phone calls happening at the same time, where it makes sense that one person is responding, the other person is responding, but the similarity is that they're all in the same situation, but in different, circumstances. That if somebody's on the phone and you say like, yeah, I broke up with my girlfriend, and in the time that the other person is responding, they can be like, yeah, it was quite painful. Now you don't know the context of what they're speaking, but it makes sense in the context of the
Yeah.
play.
Exactly.
So I mean, right.
I
I
think.
feel
Yeah. Go ahead.
like this play is kind of analogous to the pop art, like the ones painted by Jackson Pollock and all. Like this splash of colors, like this random splash of colors on a canvas, and they're trying to say something, and but they're like very much ambiguous. And why it's like collage of different things and it's too much ambiguous, and we are trying to find out meaning and coherence in it.
Uh,
I feel
Avik, who's the guy you just mentioned? Can you put that down in the chat so that everyone can have a look? That'd be
Jackson Pollock.
Yeah. Just put it down in the chat once. I'd love to have a look
Jackson.
at that. Jackson Pollock.
He
Yeah.
does
Okay. Got it.
different things. It's basically like you have some straw or something, like you just blow. It's basically blow painting, but what is that? Air blowing painting, but
Raghav,
right?
Uh, are you talking about an Indian artist by any
No, no,
chance?
no, 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 no. I'm talking about Jackson Pollock.
Right. And one other thing, I just like it shot in my head, which is another thing I realized in this play was how, like, just like continuing what Raghav was talking about, like, I feel language has been used very beautifully in this play because
yes,
uh, it, like, it doesn't, there is no setup. they don't set things up for an audience to understand. They just like, you're already immersed, and you're there, and that that thought in your head, which is like, okay, what's going on, is what keeps you, in the entire between these voices in a way. And another thing which Nandini was speaking about a little while back was, again, like voices talking to each other. Maybe it's in all in one person's head, but who are these voices talking to? I feel like this play, the way it was written, like I feel every voice as a character of them in themselves, they just want to be heard, like very selfishly, just want to be heard. Like they're not listening to each other; they're just talking. So that's a very cool thing, because like conventionally characters written in plays, should build relationships, and like, like there is like pura tension hona chahiye, personal conflict hona chahiye, like there are a lot of things. But this play, like everybody just like they're I feel like they're uncovering the same story, but in very selfish ways. They're cutting each
Yeah.
other off, they're talking straight, and they want to be heard, like themselves, not like they don't care about anyone else. So it yeah, like, and that sort of adds to the isolation, and like that entire feeling of, like, just like, please listen to me, like this is the pain I've gone through, and I would like, please just like hear me out. And
It
yeah.
feels like everyone's subconsciousness is talking to the other subconsciousness. Like no one is actually talking, but the subconscious minds are talking to each other. It feels like that.
I
And
feel like
I think
it's what. Do you want to go?
no, no.
Okay. I feel like that's what. It's something similar to what happens when two people who are fighting bottle up too many things inside themselves, and
Yeah.
they're like, okay, now we need to talk. So they just like vomit it, and they're like, yeah, I'm listening, but they're not actually listening to the other person, and they're just selfishly saying what they want to say. So it kind of like what Aditya said. I think that makes sense. Like it's like four people who have a lot going on in their heads, and they just want to vomit it all. Uh, like एक बार में सब निकाल दो types.
I think since the play was, I mean, like there was no head or tail with thing. I think in order to increase the coherence of it, I was thinking of like just splitting all the dialogue. For example, if we have just A's dialogues, I think that will make some sort of a coherence, or like from starting to ending, that will maybe help us understand more of each and everybody's character.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking this, that if I just read maybe A's lines,
Exactly.
I'll understand what exactly is
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
But just B's lines, yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
but the beauty is in its incoherence. I don't want to know what.
Exactly.
Right?
Like I was like, after
Also, yeah.
after the first two pages, I was like, fuck it, just
Yeah. I get it.
Because I feel like that's where the beauty of language comes in, is when they're cutting each other off in a way, because we're just reading text, and I'm guessing, like I say, even on stage, it's not a very visual performance, so it's mostly our imagination which is working. So when somebody throws a line, if I say like ball, everybody thinks ball, and then I'm talking about a ball, and then someone comes and says elephant. So then, like, your brain, it's just like, it's a treat, because your imagination is just like bouncing off different people's, just like rants in a way. And that is the beauty of this. Like, it just takes you, and I feel, but then, like, the clever thing about this is that it just doesn't do it for the sake of it. There is like an underlying, thing which everyone is trying to uncover, which is like one common story. Everyone talks about it at one point of time. So that way, like, that's what sort of maintained the sanity of this piece, I felt.
and that one line which says the absence beside the building, the side of the building, was such a
Agreed, agreed. That line.
that line was so crazy because it struck. I think, and that, I mean, like you never think of that empty space until you see it.
Which line are you talking about, Raghav? If you like,
Yeah, but then you just, oh, I think it was in the start only. I think around 12 pages.
I mean, what was it about? Like,
It said the absence between the buildings.
hmm.
You know,
The absence between the buildings is something. There was this line the different the distance between the two buildings at night. I noticed that line.
Yeah.
That was
There's beautiful lines like this.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, like we come across short poems or short tales on Instagram, very much poetic, and I think there are lines or dialogues which can be a standalone poem or something.
There was one line that I really liked. It was about how you're most powerful when you're absolutely powerless. I think it was right in the beginning of the play. I don't know why that line sort of had an impact on me. It was nice.
I think it's because you have nothing to lose
Yeah.
at that point. That's why you have the most power. They even referenced it in Hamilton when they say that, if he's lost office, now he has nothing to lose. He can just go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I just like that line a lot.
Mood.
But if you have to assign a setting of this where all these four characters are, so what do you think? Like, how will you picturize it? That this play is occurring at which place?
In a dimly lit living room for some reason. I don't know why.
For me, it's like a dark, enclosed space. Like for me, I was visualizing it from the very beginning that it's somewhere that's locked, enclosed, and dark.
Yeah.
For me, it was a theka. It was a theka, dude. I don't know, like drunk people like this. And that one person who gets so drunk and then they just go like, bro, listen, dude, girl I love, dude. And I used to go up with her and just to hold her hand every day. And that long monologue is just delivered after.
Yeah.
आपके वो चौथा पैक जो था गया एंड वो तो रैंट था पूरा यार.
It was totally Tully for sure.
Like third shot, you're just like, hey, bro, nice shot. Fourth shot, you're just like,
That's why it was the best part of the play for me. So like I'll read it again and again. It's so good.
I think
But again, it's very sorry. It's hard to pull this off on a stage, like because there are no like one line then other and other. So how will they manage to portray this like on live? कैसे करेंगे उसको? थोड़ा
can I take that? Can I take that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I thought we actually read it much quicker, but I feel like if we had slowed it down also, like there's something about just the essence of leaving that breathing space to complete a sentence yourself. A lot of players do that where they say something and then they make you like complete it. Please finish your sentence. If I just
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So now you're thinking, what was he going to say next?
Yes.
That breathing space is that's what makes it an interpreted play. It feels like one of those,
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask if anyone understood the whole idea of there being a beat. What did that beat signify? Like some interruption of sorts. But what did it mean? Did anyone understand that? Because I didn't.
I think it was just like what other usually like texts and plays and like scripts usually have, like a beat is just like a sort of pause in the flow of the thing, like like there is a rhythm to the play, and I think Raghav can give it like those scientific terms of theater, but like I just know it in a very like
beat is only pause, but in plays like this, I think a beat is used mostly as that it's getting a lot. It's getting much. It's that one. It's like you're driving at 150 miles an hour and then a red light comes and boom, karke it comes to a stop. No, that everything that you've read till now comes crashing. Now you're trying to take so rather than a simple pause, a beat would be a little longer one. Just to let things settle down. It's that moment of burnout, that burnout moment when you're just like,
lambi saas lo,
and then you go back. Yeah. Like my ex did.
there was there was this other I think continuing at whatever Raghav like says, and then there's like another idea which not an idea like something which I thought about the play which just pops up again. There was this part of the play I think which said like Raghav was talking about like text sometime, and like I feel like this play had a very interesting actors can do a lot of this play. Like it's so open. It's like pure meat for just like doing whatever the hell you want to do with it. Because there was this one part where one of the ABCM Joby they say, what if they what did they do to me? What did they do to me? What did they do? I think Aditya read that also. Aditya, um, like he or she or they just said that I think 5 to 10 times just straight. And I feel like that in itself, like you can convey the entire, like the story of one entire character just through that. Let's say if they start the what did they do to me paranoid, and then they turned into like it turned into hysteria, and then it turned into fear, and then it turned into laughter, and then it turned into just like absolute bawling out crying, and like it's the same line, but you've just taken us through like an entire journey uh, which didn't need separate words or like separate devices to just like put across. So that's like a very fascinating thing about this play. Like some parts, like the ones especially in the ones in which they repeat, I love these dialogues in which like characters repeat the same thing over and over again. That just opens up like it's like a blank line. Like something repeated over and over again is like a blank line where you get to like as an actor you just get to color over there, like whatever you want to do, I can just go and take my sketch pen and color. So that's it.
Meissner's technique. Repeating changes the meaning of the word you say.
Right.
Like in my head, it's like if you remove that single portion and you push the lines below that up, and while keeps saying that what did he say? What did they say? And they thinking over that conflict of interest. You don't know what's happening, the chaos it's creating. Because in my head, I was as in when he was saying those lines, I kept reading the lines ahead of it.
Right.
And it was just like when everybody's talking around you, okay, and you're trying to say, listen, please listen, please listen, please listen. From the pillow man only, you should know that what's in the box. He keeps saying what, but all the
it keeps
commotion is happening.
Yeah, it's used to escalate like very. Yeah, that's
so
true.
That last is a crescendo moment, the last one that he takes. Like I think he even did it, that he slowed it down. He was like tuck, 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 he said it in staccato. Because like in my head, like I think it looked really good on stage, and you don't even need sets for this.
Exactly.
So like zero budget play.
Exactly. Like it's just literally like whatever 4 actors who know their lines and just like a blank empty stage and just like go ahead. It's a very that way it's a very liberating play for even like a director. He can think up, and there's not much like of course there can be a lot of light design or there can be no light design. Like कुछ भी हो सकता है इस play में.
It's so I feel like this is going to, like, just in my head, bro. Now you're talking about direction, bro. But you have to. But imagine like 4 people who are tied by a rope, and the rope is tangled multiple ways, and throughout the whole play they are trying to untangle themselves out of that loop, and in the end they manage to untangle it. It requires a lot of choreography in terms of, but just that image of being in this constant, like conflict, this entanglement of things, where you're just like, oh shit, now यहाँ से मैं कहाँ जाऊँ? यहाँ से मैं कहाँ जाऊँ? Because it's a team effort. Like you have to work together to come to the end.
Right. Absolutely.
Feels that end may resolution feels like oh, like we've all worked together on this. Let's fucking do it.
Exactly. Wow. I think if we get into directing inputs, then this meeting will go on for like 5 more hours. So that's why I mean, it's very interesting to touch upon this, honestly. Like I'm a sucker for this. I will do it whenever. And but like I just try to make sure we've sort of covered everyone and everyone's, you know, whatever everyone like took from the play. So I think everyone has surely if you want to, you know, give any of your thoughts, you're free to.
Honestly, I was like little confused when the play got ended. I was like confused to what's happening. So after like listening to all of this, like I have a little bit of clarity. So I think I'll go back again and read to get like to grasp more.
I think all of us are still confused, like nobody's figured anything out. So, but yeah, that's true. Anything else, surely, like you, any part you liked, any, you know, any insight you're like, oh, this reminded me of that, or something else.
No, I got to read that monologue part and I loved reading it. So that was like very interesting for me.
Yeah.
And apart from that, like, yeah, as you said, no, that it ends with suicide. So I never thought, "Ki, okay, this ended with suicide." Then I'm like, okay, I think I've never like, I didn't listen it अच्छे से because I mean, there's so many interpretation, and again, like there was no like as to which context you're delivering the dialogue. Should you be happy
Hmm.
saying that one word, or you should be sad, or you should be angry? Like there was no context. So yeah, that's
Yeah, it's if you're starting out reading plays, I mean, this one would have just like given you a little झटका कि ये क्या हो गया.
exactly yeah, you needed that. But I'll continue with that.
But yeah, that's the beauty of Sarah Kane. I feel it's tragic and it's just like a lot of things together. I think most of us have got a lot of like everyone has one or the other lines they've taken from this play. Like very a lot of like, you know, these nuggets which were dropped in between the play. So it was good that ways. And yeah, I think yeah, it's almost 6 p.m. So don't want to keep you guys waiting for longer. We've had a long discussion today, and I really loved like having a long ass discussion because that just fleshes out more and more things, and you just get to like the play finally gets to sit in your head, and then you can, you know, just like let it marinate and और अच्छे से समझ में आ रहा है सब कुछ. So it just feels wonderful.
Anxiety, bro. Marination is the thing, anxiety. Because you're just gonna be thinking about it. Oh my god, what did he mean when he said that shit?
Exactly. But that's the beauty, and that's what like long discussions do. So yeah, thank you guys for joining it today. I will come with another play next week and hope to see you guys on Saturday. Chalo. See you guys. Thank you so much for joining in today.
The next play is in English or Hindi?
I would want to read an English classic because this was in English contempt. This is how I basically try to go. It's like Hindi contemporary classic and then English contemporary classic. So that's these are 4 quadrants I try to keep covering so that it's also always it's like fresh. Sab log har baar it's not, you know, repetitive and monotonous. And yeah, like any inputs, yeah, please just put it on the group. You're free to do that. And yeah,
Shakespeare.
bro, शेक्सपियर के लिए यार
I
ऐसे
go ham on Shakespeare, bro.
एक शेक्सपियर के लिए ऐसे इंग्लिश टीचर भी साइड में से मीटिंग में रहना पड़ेगा एक एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए हर चीज.
I got you, bro.
I mean, yeah, like if you want, I was thinking of a very like an ambitious attempt at like let's say like a Julius Caesar or something like that. But I was thinking,
Awesome.
Let's do Julius Caesar. It would be fun.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes, yes.
Come on. It's a win. Breaking.
yeah, but see, I'll tell you what my personal fear is that I won't understand like most of the parts and like because Shakespeare I've just read क्या मैंने as you like it school में पढ़ा था और फिर वो भी like fucking took 1 year to study because of like how young we were and how like Shakespeare is Shakespeare and then like other stories I've just like touched upon I've just like skimmed through I know those stories I haven't gone through them so
See, it's very easy to understand Shakespeare because honestly, the gist of it comes from. I know the long monologues are difficult, but the gist comes from the first few lines and the last few lines. The rest of it bullshit. He tries to do what we do in essays.
oh
No, today I went to the mall. Okay, On the 1st of December of this, at this hour, I took the bus and paid 20 rupees for the thing to go to the mall, which was it's the same thing he does.
Yeah, but yeah, I think यार तो फिर करते Julius Caesar पढ़ते फिर. But like the thing is, it'll be long, so we'll have to probably read it like over 2 days. Saturday, Sunday करना पड़ेगा. So we can sort the timings out and let's do it then. Perfecto. Chalo, that's wonderful. Wow, we already decided for the coming week. That's a good thing. We should like probably do this more often. Just like decide in advance. Not me. But yeah, chalo, thank you guys. I won't keep you guys here for longer. Just take care. बढ़िया. कुछ लोगों को ठंड लग रही है, कुछ लोगों को गर्मी लग रही है. सब लोग enjoy करो यार. And we'll meet next week. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Everyone.
Bye bye.
See you.
Bye. Bye. Thanks.